So the January sales numbers are in, and what does it mean for buyers and sellers? The answer coming up. So before we look at the January housing numbers, let's revisit the video that I made last month regarding 2 decades worth of information. So let me start by explaining that the columns represent the actual number of homes that were sold for that particular year. So as you can see, we've got data as far back as 2000 all the way to last year, 2019. Now historically, it looks like in 2005, that was the previous peak of the market, where we had a sale of 9,720 homes that were sold that year. So I marked that in black. The following year, there was a drop to 8,831, which was the first time after a long run of sales increases over the past 5 years. And so I marked that decline in gray. So that decline continued on until 2011, which was the lowest point over the past 20 years. And ever since then, it has been steadily increasing up until 2018. And then, to what might be a surprise to you, 2019 was actually a drop in the number of homes sold. So what I did is I identified the peak as the black color and the first decrease in number of sales as the gray bar or gray column. But then, as I concluded in that video, I said that it was too early to tell whether the signal of a change in the market is already here. So I promised then that we're going to look at the monthly numbers very closely and see if the trend will continue. In any case, if you want to get more details of that video from last month, I'm going to provide a link over here, and you can review that to as much as you want. So now let's proceed to our January sales. So in here, I've got a shortened version with only 6 years worth of data, and the columns still represent the actual number of homes sold, but in this case, it's only limited to January. So you'll see that the home sales have been increasing steadily from January 2015 all the way to 2018. And then, as I've said last year, January 2019 was the first time that it had dropped. But as you can see, that this past month, the sales have gone back up, matching the sales in 2018. Now the blue line represents the median prices of the homes, and as you can see, it has continued to climb up. Actually, 275,000 is more than the median price in all of 2019 at 270,000. So what does that mean for buyers and sellers? Well, first of all, let's consider that 2020 is actually an election year. Traditionally, election years have actually been kind of unpredictable because we don't know what's going to happen. But this much I can say: if you are a seller and your only objective in selling is to take equity out of your property, I would suggest just not to do it at all. The reason being is that it's a tough market out there. If you're going to sell, you're going to face the challenge of finding a home to buy. We see that inventories will continue to be low this coming year. So unless you've already got a plan of where to go, I'd say just stay put where you are. Don't even think about selling and getting the equity out of your property, unless of course you need the money. In other words, what I'm saying is that don't be a hedge seller. It means that if I sell at a certain price, then I'm going to go ahead and sell. And if I don't make that price, I'm not going to do it. So that is hedging your bets. So I'd say don't do that, because there's a lot of time and effort on your part in order to get the best price for your home. One of the key characteristics of getting top dollar for your home is to get it clean, spick and span, and well maintained with very minimal issues. So in order to get the highest and best price for your home, there's going to be a lot of time and effort on your part as the home seller to get it to high quality selling condition. So now what do you do as a buyer? Are you going to be a hedge buyer also and say, okay, well, I'm going to wait for the market to decline before I buy? Well, if you can still accept to live where you are in your current condition, then that's not a problem. We don't really know when the market is going to dip if you want to take advantage of trying to buy low. But on the other hand, if you really need to move because of some other situation, such as you need to get your kids into a different school district, for example, or maybe you've got a new member in your family that you need to have an extra room, or maybe you just need a yard for the new dog that you've got. So whatever compelling reason that you might have, I'd say go ahead and buy right now before the springtime comes, and there's going to be lots of buyers at that time, and you'll minimize the probability of doing a bidding war against other buyers. And so that concludes our weekly market update. And stay tuned for the next one, where we're going to go into detail of the weekly neighborhood grids that I had discussed in the past. So again, this is Dennis Isip, over and out.